welcome to Friday night's episode of the Blitz Pickup. I'm sorry that we're a little bit late, but we had a whole show planned, but I've been at work all day and social media has been buzzing around. Apparently over a back shoulder throw. Not really sure, but I'm going to bring up the guys and let them go at it.
Hey, yo, Josh, what's good? You said the back shoulder throw like if it was a question, not a statement. So I'm trying to figure out: are you asking was it a back shoulder throw, or are you
I'm
telling us?
asking. I've been at work all day. I don't know what's going on, but y'all been turning up.
I'll tell you right now what's going on, Jess. I'm glad to see the homie Tone in Oiler blue tonight. I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see the dog. Hey, he picked the right side tonight. So shout out to the homie Tone with Orla Blue, man.
Most definitely not. But what's good though, man? Hey,
man. Hey, another day in paradise, man. Jess, Tone, what's good?
Man, chilling. So Lou, you know about this apparent back shoulder throw that they talking about?
Well, Tone. What's crazy is right. Listen. You know me, I try to stay out of mess. I try to stay, out of things. But I've heard a couple things today, and I was really wondering, Tone, if you care maybe to start the show. Maybe could you elaborate, like from your knowledge or your perspective, what's going on with this situation?
I'm glad you asked, because fortunately for the Blitz pickup, I came prepared. Hey, Lou, it's this thing. I pay this subscription every year. It's called All 22, and you know what, Lou? I don't mind if I do. Y'all don't mind me sharing my screen with y'all for a little while, do y'all?
Oh,
I'm good. I'm good. So I want to know if this was a back shoulder throw. Hold on, matter of fact, I'm ahead. Y'all can see I was already watching the clip. Let me hit the rewind button real quick for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me I'm good, right? Y'all can see it.
I can see it.
All right. This is an out.
Oh, get him, Tyreek. Get him, Tyreek.
Nah, I just want to pause right there. I'm just gonna pause. The ball is already in the air. He's done. He got on the right number, the 5 like Ramsey. That's how Ramsey looked all season, right? Look at what Lou. Look at what this guy is. This is Mark Hamlin. Look where he is. Look where he is. Look what Tyreek is. Look at all this empty space down here, and look at where the ball is. Let's run the play a little bit more. Again. Now this ball is already coming down. This ball is already dying, losing velocity. It's coming down. Look at the defender. Look at Tyreek. And look at DeMar Hamlin. I'm just saying, for all these, they supposed to be experts. They supposed to know everything. They're the most knowledgeable. But over here, I guess they forgot we had film breakdown as well, right? And we don't lie. We don't cap. So I'm trying, Lou, I just want to get your opinion. Jess, you too. I want both of y'all to chime in. Ladies first. Jess, in your humble opinion, right? We're going to be humble. Do you think DeMar Hamlin can get to Tyreek Hill before he gets to this end zone? I'm saying humbly. What about you, Lou? You, in your humble opinion, or should I say your unhumble opinion, do you think DeMar Hamlin can make it to Tyreek Hill with all this space before he gets to that end zone, sir?
Well, Tone, you know what's crazy? What are those two fingers that Tyreek usually puts up? Oh, real quick. I'll show you.
Uh-oh.
You see that?
Yeah.
Bro, what are we talking about? You think DeMar Hamlin is catching Tyreek Hill? Like, have people lost their damn mind?
See, this is what you can say what you want and speculate and assume and I believe. Cool. The bird in the sky do not lie. Or should I say the eyes in the sky do not lie. Let's play it. Let's run it. Right? He's like basically he's about to come back for a punt. Is that a punt return? He looked like he was about to call a fair catch. Now, I want to point out it again. Look at Tyreek Hill. Damar Hamlin still hasn't made it close to Tyreek. Still. So even if Tyreek is still running, he's not even in position to get to Tyreek. We've seen this throw made time and time again. You get that ball out there, all he had to do is either like how Lou acts, right? If he would have, let me back this up, because we both had different perspective of the type of throw that we wanted him to make, but the end result was going to be a touchdown. So if he right here, right, the ball is gone, and you see it's going up there. If he had the arm strength, I brought up the pass like how Lou said, if he zips this right here in the angle, like right there to where Tyreek catches it like this, he's catching that and gone. He's catching that and gone. He is done. There's no recovering from this. He's leaning. He looked like he's about to fall right now. He's done. Or he gets more zip on the ball and it goes more, if it throws it out this way, he's running up under it. Each throw he makes is a touchdown. That's all I'm saying.
Right there, Tone. You mean to tell me, and to your point, if you throw that to the pylon or even like going towards the back pylon, there's no way Damar Hamlin's catching Tyreek, right?
No.
What I was saying, right when you illustrated the corner, right, where basically he was like stumbling at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Tua, instead of throwing the ball in a higher trajectory, one of these little like floater type balls that Tua throws, if you throw that more on a rope on a lower trajectory, and Tyreek, let's say, catches the ball at the 20-yard line, you mean to tell me Damar Hamlin is catching him?
20?
Is that what people think?
15? No, at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Because look, with your throw,
go ahead,
right?
It's my fault.
With your throw, which that's why you come back and you want. With your throw, he has two options. He either run past him, or he uses his momentum against him and cut inside.
And cuts inside.
Either or.
Either or.
But any throw he makes, right? This is a touchdown. The one throw you don't want to make is the duck that he threw. That's the one throw you don't want to make. Which is this. Go ahead.
Oh, my fault, Tom. Go ahead.
No, which is this right here that is already on his way down. This is as open as you get when it comes to the NFL. You rarely see this amount of space. That distant? Come on, man. What are we looking at? 2.5 yards? That's 3 yards. 3 yards of separation. And we tell you, it's a game of inches. Bro, come on, man. Let's stop. We carrying every narrative. Y'all know we don't run from no hot topic. But what we not gonna let people do, we are not gonna let y'all mislead this fan base and think y'all could just throw anything out there and say, oh no, that was an intention. Backs. Get out of here with that BS.
Look
man.
at the guy now, Tone. I know you can't see, but Mike Best, he asked the question first. He said, "Did they score a touchdown on this play?" He said he can't remember. No, we scored a field goal on this drive. We scored a field goal. The second question or statement, I'd rather say, that Mike Best says, he says, "Look at the guy in the middle." Yeah, let's look at him. Do you think
this guy
in the middle,
here?
Damar Hamlin? He's talking about
this guy.
Do you think now if the ball is hitting Tyreek right now? Right, where he's at right now, or let's say another yard or 2 yards, getting closer to the 15.
Around here.
Do you think Damar Hamlin's catching Tyreek Hill? Is that what people think? I mean, honestly, is that what people think? Because I'm here to tell you right now, it's time to turn up a little tonight. Because we got some damn idiots. I'm not going to use the word the other guy used. The words were clowns. I'm not going to let these clowns. Well, I'm not going to let idiots ruin this fan base, because I got a good friend of mine. I just seen him. He popped in the chat. EM Dolphin fan. EM has told me.
Shout out to EM. I can't see you right now, EM. I just hope our film breakdown is to your approval, sir.
Absolutely. Now, EM has told me a lot of times, and again, shout out to the homie, right? Good friend of mine. He's told me a lot of times since I started talking to him, the internet is a hell of a drug. And he's also told me that, certain individuals have done a number to this fan base, and I tend to agree with them. There is some damn clowns and idiots in this fan base that everybody seems to love and respect. He's a clown. See, we can take shots over here too. If this clown thinks that he's the only one that can watch film, break down film, and know everything, he's the end-all, be-all of football, he has lost his damn mind if he thinks Damar Hamlin in a single high safety look is catching Tyreek Hill.
Hey, the nerve of people want to call people clowns.
Now,
bro,
what's crazy?
Disagree.
What's crazy, Tone? No. Forget about the clown. I like the clown narrative. See, the clown narrative came with a clip, and supposedly the clown said, "Oh, it's a back shoulder throw." Now he's agreeing with the back shoulder throw narrative. Now, Tone, I just want to know real quick: do we have another clip to show everybody?
Don't mind if I do. Matter of fact, we done with this one, right? We don't need this one.
Absolutely. No, I think we've already proved our point on this. Let's show the culprit of all this. Cool.
Let me know. I'm going to play. Let me know if y'all can see it. There you go.
Yeah. Let it ride.
Okay. I didn't want to.
Hands clap. Hands on the helmet.
Oh!
Stop it right there, Tone.
I'm trying to figure out.
I just want to know. Now, I just want to know, to the clown, to the idiot, does that look like a quarterback that was happy with the back shoulder throw? Now, I'm just asking for Now, I'm asking for a friend. That's what I'm asking for. All idiots and all clowns to please show up. See, the gloves are off. No names are mentioned. See, until my name is mentioned, no names have to be mentioned. But for the people that know, they know. Tell the clowns to pull up. And tell the clowns to explain to me how Tua Tagovailoa himself, not the people that ride for Tua and defend Tua, and Tua can't be, oh my God, Tua never does nothing wrong. I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the clowns that defend the man, right, that is showing you he made a mistake. I'm talking to the clowns and the idiots that know, right, that, again, don't defend a man when the man just told you I messed up. See, this is why I don't respect clowns. This is why I respect more Tua than you idiots and clowns that defend him. Because at least Tua can admit when he's wrong. Why is it, Tone and Jess, that the idiots and clowns are so defensive for a guy that, let me explain something else, that you'll never meet? You'll never meet him. Tua could care less about the clowns and the idiots around the world. He could care less about y'all. But y'all sit here all day, every day, trying to defend a man that just showed you. Now, Tone, real quick, I'm sorry. You got the floor. I'll continue. But can you show that clip again? Let's run it one more time for evidence, please. Clapping of the hands like I messed up. Damn, hit the helmet like, oh my God, I want that throwback. Where's the clowns at? Somebody go get me the damn clowns. Because all I know, Tone, if my intention was to throw a back shoulder throw on that play, I wouldn't be clapping my hands and hitting my helmet like, damn, I fucked up. I wouldn't be doing that. Fact. But maybe the clowns and the idiots can explain it better to
me. These are facts. The problem is, y'all let people just say anything, and the nerve of people are going against. Now, I'm the type of person that says, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I don't take anyone by their word just because you may have played in the game, or you may have, studied the game, and you may have, went to school and everything. So I don't mean I'm gonna trust your word, right? But we know when people know what they're talking about. We understand this, right? So when you got Super Bowl winning former MVP quarterback comes out and explains to you that was a bad throw, comes out and explains to you if he attended intended on throwing a back shoulder throw, that would have been a terrible decision. Explaining this to the fan base, feelings will not allow y'all to just take in the knowledge and understand. See, you can learn something every time, but when you move with feelings and based off emotions, you're never gonna learn anything. Now, we're the ones over here, you know, not me so much, but y'all know, y'all call Lou a flip flop all day. But all that is telling me is he's objective. If he's doing good, point out he's doing good. If he's not doing so good, you point that out as well. So what? And mind you, the dude that came out and said there was a bad throw, Kurt Warner, right? Isn't he the one that everyone run to when he brought out the comparison against Drew Brees and saying that he has elite anticipation and accuracy? This what he was saying. So now all of a sudden, when he gives a statement that people disagree with or they might not like, now all of a sudden they ignore it. But before, when he was praising them, it was the gospel. But now, you know, he says something. No, oh no. I believe it was. No, you don't. You just don't want to acknowledge the fact that that was a bad throw. And you want to know what? Newsflash, people. Quarterbacks have bad throws. It's happened. You can pull up a bad throw from any quarterback that ever played the game. There's not a single quarterback that played the sport of football that hasn't made a bad throw, that hasn't missed a throw. The problem is when you fail to acknowledge the fact that it was a bad throw. Now you got to sit here and have the fan base looking like they don't know what they're doing. You understand? Or you got to sit here and have people attacking people for their this opinion based. But the fact of the matter is, we're not on the field. We didn't throw the ball. We don't know what Tua's intentions was, and we don't know what he wanted to throw the ball at, right? But what we can read is body language. As Lou just pointed out to y'all, is that sound like a dang after that. And man, I missed that one. Wish I had that back. So that's what I'm saying. You could tell me what you think he wanted to do or what he intended to do. It was a safe throw, it was a back shoulder throw, whatever you want. That's not what actions show. Actions speak louder than words. His action shows he missed the doggone throw. That's what the action shows. Why is it so hard for people to acknowledge this? It makes no sense. But people feel like, oh, okay, they want to do what they want to do. No, it's here. Let me run that for y'all one more time. There go your clap. There's your pat on the head. That's a fact, Mike Best. That's crazy if somebody will go to that. So I'm just saying. So I just gave y'all the all-22 look. Sideline view. You saw every player. You saw DeMar Hamlin wasn't even after he caught the ball, he still wasn't within 3 or 4 yards of Tyreek Hill. And you mean to tell me if you get an on-point, on-target throw on time, that's not what he's walking into the end zone. Clearly, easily.
Now, Tone, what's crazy is, right? Look at this play right here. You got a screenshot right here of, I believe this is Elam, the cornerback for the Buffalo Bills.
Elam. Yeah.
Now, Elam is closer to Tyreek Hill right now than DeMar Hamlin is. You would say that, right? You would say Elam at this point is closer, right? Now, nobody cares about how close Elam is. They're still worried about the safety that's not even close to him.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, how does that work?
It doesn't. It literally doesn't make any sense.
See,
but you know what? Let me run this forward. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, Tom, what bothers me is these clowns, right, that come out here. We had another clown today tweet and post, and as you can see my name too. Well, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's Lewis, aka Kurt. Please chime in. We had another clown in this damn fan base come out here and tag Kurt Warner. to try to get Kurt Warner to defend this play. Kurt Warner said, and I quote, "Yeah, it's a bad throw." And they highlighted all what Tua needed to do with mechanics and maybe stepping into the throw and doing all the
technique all over.
Technique, right? He explained to these idiots, right, that if it's a better throw, it's a walk-in touchdown. But you still have damn idiots that claim that they're the best film breakdown in this damn community, right? You still have idiots like that saying that it was a back shoulder throw. Now, what's crazy is, see, I've been in the game a little bit longer than I would say you is, Tone, and that's not a shot at you, but I just know things. I remember things. Now, I remember when Kurt Warner had praising thoughts about Tua Tagovailoa and said all glorious things about Tua Tagovailoa. Everybody loved Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner was the Billy Gospel. Kurt Warner would never lie. Kurt Warner was the authority. But now all of a sudden, Kurt Warner says his opinion on this throw, and Kurt Warner don't know football. Kurt Warner was just he was a arena football player. Kurt Warner was a bagger at Winn-Dixie. That's what people said today. But 8 months ago, when Kurt Warner spoke on Tua and how good Tua was, he was a Hall of Fame quarterback. And why are people arguing with Hall of Fame credentials? But you argue with him today, though, right? Today he's not credible, right?
Wow.
Y'all damn idiots, I'm telling you now, this is not what over here, me, Tony, all of us, we don't want to make this channel what we're doing here today. But I'll be goddamned if I'm going to allow people to sit here and run amok of this fan base and this team that I love the most. I'm getting real close to calling these damn idiots out. You better tread lightly, homie, whoever it is, right? And I'm speaking in general. Whoever you are that's going to come out and be tweeting these clowns and all this bullshit, tread lightly. And you can come play with it if you want to. Because I ain't playing no more. The clown is you, homie. Don't sit up here when evidence is in your face just because you got your, oh my God, Tua can't do no wrong. I don't care how you got built or where you're built or how you're from or where you're from. I could care less. The fact of the matter is, the facts are, if you think that you're going to people, and I'm talking about in general, where it's all about, all we do is want to talk about the facts. We preach the truth. Well, then start preaching the damn truth then. Because if you don't, a person like me and this channel, we're going to start calling you out on it.
Yeah. Mr. M said, I need clarification. This man here. Hey, so listen, one more time. I'm just going to let the whole, I think it's like a 58 second. So y'all can see the entirety of it. Just for goodness sake, I guess. And they're going to give you a good angle of it, too. It's crazy because no one is in the field. DeMar Hamlin, the one they said was going to get there, he finally popped into the screen at the end. This one right here. Did y'all, if you could stop and if you look the amount of distance that he's there right there, let me pause it for y'all. Look at the amount, you could see that DeMar Hamlin is way, like, look at that view, that camera angle. That man ain't nowhere near Tyreek. Nowhere near. You saw it on the R22 view, and now you see it right here on the close-up. He's not near him. Just make a better throw. So this is like, no, like, let's stop. And again, they go to him again.
And I'm sorry, Dre. I did see your
man.
comment, Dre. Dre said Lewis doesn't read my last comment. It was a perfect back shoulder throw. Now, was it a completion? Oh, absolutely. The evidence is there. It was a completion. This is the problem I have, though, right? In the Arizona game, a ball hits his hand. It goes rolling out the back of the end zone. Our defense gives up less points than the Arizona defense gives up. And people tell me it's our defense fault we lost the game. Okay, cool. I'm going to let that ride, even though I don't agree. Now, in this game right here, Tua played virtually perfect. This is where, Tone, you just said, oh, I'm a flip-flopper. Well, let me throw the flip-flops on. I'm going to give Tua tremendous credit in this game right here. I think he was 25 for 28, like 240-something, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yeah. Virtually flawless, right? Now, this is the problem. Tone, you remember.
Go ahead, Lou, real quick. I just saw it. Go ahead. This
game right here, Tone, right? We lost this game by 3 with Tua virtually playing perfect. You know what people told me, Tony? Defense. Well, when the game was tied, Jordan Poyer had a helmet-to-helmet hit and gave Buffalo a chance to kick a 60-yard field goal. Shout out to the kicker. He made the 60-yard field goal. So the Dolphins lost by 3. Now, if we show you a different angle of this play, this is with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Dolphins are down 12-10 at this point. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. We kick the field goal. We go up 13-12. Now, if this play is a better throw by Uno, right, by the Oos, right, we go up 17-13. Not 17-12.
17-12, I'm sorry. Yeah, 17-12, yeah.
We got a 5-point lead. If that happens, right, the game goes the same way now, right? This is all we have to go on, how the game went. We're up 5. If the game is whatever, a field goal don't beat us at the end. The Dolphins win the game. Now, again, according to the clowns and the idiots, right? The defense lost the game. I just want to know, you wanna take a different look at it? Because I could sit here and argue this one throw alone is how great of a play that Tua played in this game, right? How great he played. I could argue Tua cost us the game on this one throw. Could I not make that argument?
You can make the argument. I mean, I would disagree with it.
Now, people wouldn't like it, though, right?
Right, that's a fact.
Oh, okay. So don't get mad at people like me when all we hear is that damn head coach is a bad head coach. Don't get mad at me for people that say the general manager is horrible. Don't get mad at me that y'all want to blame everybody and their mama when a person like me, the most objective fan in the community, has been preaching to y'all for years now. Stop blaming every man, woman, and child and start blaming the people that are on the goddamn field. Now, who sounds, Tony and Jess, like they got a better and more sound of an argument? Me or the clowns and idiots?
I'm waiting to see if Jess got a sign up. I want to know who won this debate.
My sign is ready.
Hey, Lou, I'm not. Hey, listen, man. Listen, I know you wanted to get that off, so I'm gonna let you have that. But I wanted to bring it because obviously that's why I said they point out they try to point you out to be a flip flopper, but to me that's been objective. You don't have to stay on one side or the other because that's not how the NFL, any sport goes. You're gonna have good days and bad days. Lou, did you do that? I answered your what you asked me. Yeah, you hear me, Lou?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that now. Yeah.
So what I want to point out here, right? And everyone, if you've been on this channel much, y'all know Mike Best is one of the biggest Tua supporters. He gonna support Tua to the end, to the bus out. He's not gonna back down off that. He's an avid Tua supporter. He's admitted in spaces. He's admitted on the channel. But look, read this comment, right? Now I see, Tony, I was wrong. I didn't see the all 22. How hard was it to admit that you was wrong? All you get, that's respect. It's okay to say I was wrong. That's it. It's okay. I was wrong. I didn't see the bad angle. Okay, cool. Now that you presented me with the evidence to show that it could have been a better throw, it could have possibly been a touchdown, I concede to the argument. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when people give you information, we're teaching you something. You can learn something and have a better understanding. But people tend to want to stand on their takes. They'd rather be wrong they'd rather be right than admit that that's not how it went. Like, that's crazy to me. This is a great point by EM. The play that should have been made in that moment are what separates great from the very good. That is a very good point that you made, EM, because people will come out here and say, hey, y'all nitpicking. Tua can't do no wrong. No. That's a great illustration of what we're trying to get you guys to understand.
And Tone, real quick, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But this is why right here, that's why that's my dog. That's why in that Twitter space the other day when people always say, well, EM is a caper, EM is this. See, this is the EM I know. It comes off as maybe from an outside perspective, oh, EM is caping. Nah. This right here is the EM I know.
And he go another true Fin fan. Y'all know we go back and forth. We don't been back and forth on multiple platforms. Look what he says. I tell you what, Tony, I was dead wrong. That's why I like this show. Real good eyes always speak the truth. I like that truth word because he didn't say speak was right. He said the truth. Because if I think I'm right and you think you're right, we both speaking opinions. Numbers don't lie. Film don't lie. When we come out here and say, oh, he could have did something better, he could have had a better throw, that means we want what's best for the team. Us trying to run and hide from this type of stuff, that's not what we need to advance. Like how? How can you elevate his game? By saying, oh, he don't do nothing wrong. No, that's not how you elevate your game. You elevate your game by being critiqued and fixing what you was critiqued on. That's it. But people will take that and just want to be right about everything instead of learn something. But over here, I don't care who you think you is. We can put it on and put the film on and say, no, watch it. You don't have to have the biggest vocabulary. You don't have to have, oh, I know every word and every route concept and everything. At the end of the day, you can put I didn't have to tell you a route concept. I didn't have to tell you the defense that they were in. I didn't have to tell you the snap count. I didn't have to know none of that to understand. You put the film on. If he makes a better throw, it's a touchdown. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Tone, can you answer me one question? Because watching this play over and over, and we were backstage watching it, yeah. I just want, in your expert opinion, what is the EPA on this play of us scoring the touchdown?
You know what, Lou? I got an expert opinion. I'm gonna say I don't know. Because I'm not perfect. I don't know everything.
Oh,
and
okay. I bet.
And I don't pretend to either. I don't pretend to know everything. I don't pretend to feel like or act as if I can't learn something. Sorry, hey yo, they wow. But did you put that out? You put that out, Lou, before we move on.
I'm good. We can continue the show.
No, you remember you asked me something in a private chat.
Oh yeah. I did that, and we'll see if that happens.
Okay, I don't want to move on too soon or whatever. But listen, y'all know how it is over here. If it's your first time, it's 47 y'all in the building. Please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscription button. Listen, over here we just try to give y'all the truth and the objective truth. We're not here acting like we know everything. But what we're not going to do is let people tell a bunch of lies and act like we just going to let it slide and not address it. Yes, we're going to address it. No. And please, why can't we keep it respectful and peaceful? That's crazy to me, at least from my standpoint. Listen, if you disagree, cool. I'll come over here. I'll put on our film. We'll break it down the way we break it down, right? And then you go do the same thing and let the people decide who was right. But all I know is what I'm looking at and the film that I'm watching, just a slightly better throw is 6. That's the difference between 6 and 3 points. We kicked the field goal on that drive. And that's like 3/4 of gone already in the third quarter. So we 3/4 in. I think it was 5 minutes and 13 seconds left in that game. So I'm sorry. We just point out facts to you people. It's crazy. The defense of a guy, no matter what, like I would never understand how people move like that, or they think that's what's best for the team. If you want what's best for the team and you look at this play, you cannot tell me you look at this play and say, hey man, nah, he did everything that he was supposed to do. That was the right play. Then who you want best for, Tua or the team? Newsflash. If Tua does better, the whole team does as well. It's a team sport. But if Tua doesn't live up to his potential, then guess what? The team, they lack as well. It affects them. We already understand that quarterback is the most important position. That's why you should hold them to a higher standard. I point this out last show and the show before that. I believe it was Lewis that said that it say, don't treat everyone fair, not the same. And that makes so much sense to me when it comes to football or sports, because we understand when we win these games, the quarterback is going to get all the glory. When we lose these games, the quarterback is going to get all the criticism. So guess what? Hold them to a bigger standard. A higher standard, I'm sorry. Hold them to a higher standard. That's just the nature of the game. You decided this profession. That's how it goes. I don't make the rules, they do. And that's a fact. They said, now ask yourself, how many times a year does this happen? Too many points left on the board. That's a fact. But you know what? The point of this discussion and this debate is, well, it's not a debate up here because we all on the same page over here. But the point of us discussing and pointing this out is to show that everyone makes mistakes. But why do we always have to cover up for our guy instead of holding him to a higher standard? It kills me.
You know what's crazy, Tom?
Okay, I see him back there. Go ahead, dude. Why are you doing
what's crazy? Well, we could bring up tonight. We got a special guest, right?
I don't know about special, but we got someone that was acting like he knows something.
my guy, man, my guy, right? Hey, EM Dolphin. What EM? What's good, dog?
Hey, I'm here. I need clarification on some things.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I just want to let you know right now. Lewis begged and please say, Tone, that's my boy. I said, all right, I just met him, so I'm gonna give him a shot. So
now, real quick. Hey, real quick, before we get into the thing, because I want EM to be up here and hear this, right? Now, what's crazy to me is this is a single high look with DeMar Hamlin. That was in the middle of the field. We highlighted this play. Now, when we traded for Tyreek Hill, it was for plays like this. Because when we traded for him, we all knew that if in a situation or a scenario like this, right? This is house calls with Tyreek Hill. Right? But now all of a sudden, when it doesn't happen, we come up with excuses, right? Of why it's not a house call. Now, listen to the words I want people to understand very carefully. Tyreek Hill was 5 yards away from the corner. He was 5 yards away. And you want me to believe that a safety in the middle of the field is catching Tyreek Hill if it's a better ball? EM, real quick, you just heard what I said. Would you tend to agree with that statement, or do you see it in another light?
No, not at all. I got 100% agree with you on this one. I think, cause see, even when you go back, cause I remember watching the game, and as soon as the play developed, and Tyreek, the ball was completed or whatnot, the play developed, and so when I think it was Tony Romo that called that game, even Tony Romo on the telecast, he said, look, because see, the camera quickly shifted to Tua when he hit himself on his helmet and, he clapped his hands like, God damn it, my bad. Even Tony Romo acknowledged, he said, yeah, Tua, I think the quote was, yeah, Tua, I bet Tua wishes he had that one back. Or it was Trent Green, one of those two. But yeah, I got 100% agree with you, Lou, on this one. I think, Tua, it was just a misread by Tua. I think if Tua, if he steps into the throw more and he gets more velocity on the football and leads him more vertical, there's no way in the world that safety is getting over there and making a play on the football. I think Tua, now where I disagree with Kurt Warner was saying about his the process, talking, mentioning about his mechanics and all that were kind of sloppy and all. I disagree with that. I think Tua had a solid base on his throw. I think he intentionally was trying to throw a back shoulder throw in this scenario. And again, I don't think it was a bad play per se. I think
you think I don't know. His body language don't show he intentionally threw a back shoulder throw. His body language showed that he missed the throw. He wanted it back.
Well, this is where the disappointment comes in, because he's seeing how, again, it was a misread. He's after the play, after he makes the throw, right? He's looking at the safety. He's like, damn, I guarantee you this is what went through his head. Damn, there's no way in the world that safety could have got over and made the play if I would have, put more velocity on the football and just led him vertically. That's where the disappointment came in. I don't think he was disappointed with the actual throw that happened. He was just after the play developed and he saw especially with that safety, because again, he's watching how the play developed, right? And I know he's like, damn, I should have just stepped through the throw and led him vertically. There's no way. He realized that after the play had already happened. So that is where I think the disappointment came in with Tua. I could be wrong, but that's just my assessment of the play.
I gotta emphatically disagree with you. No, Tua. First of all, you saying his mechanic. First of all, I say this all the time on this throw. When it comes to them deeper routes and the longer developing routes, first of all, I'm sorry to tell y'all, everyone that don't want to admit that he doesn't have the arm strength to be late. He doesn't have the arm strength.
I would agree with that.
Bring it back. So he did not step into that throw. If you think Tua gonna stand there and throw that on the rope like that, I'm sorry, I got to disagree with you. No,
that's what I'm saying, Tone. That's why he didn't step into it, because he was intentionally trying to throw a back shoulder throw. That's why he didn't step into it.
I don't think so. I just think he didn't have the arm strength to get it there. I'm sorry. Especially looking at that. Because I could see if he misread it. No, there was single high the whole time. So he knew. And now I'm going to tell you what he messed up at was when he did the pump fake, why didn't his eyes go right back to DeMar Hamlin? At the very least, it would have held him in his position.
Well, I mean, none of us can really answer that. Again, I'm just going off what actually transpired on the play, and run the footage back. Look at Tua's base when he releases the football. Look at it's not like he was off balance. I think he was balanced mechanically. Again, like I said, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He was balanced, but he was also flat-footed. Yes. He didn't step into the throw.
Right. Exactly. Which again, when you're trying to throw a touch throw, you don't necessarily need to be have a complete follow through. And we know we also know what type of Tua is a touch thrower, right?
Keep it right there, Tone. Keep it right there. No. Oh, go back, Tone, if you can.
To pull up his base where he you can't zoom in, can you can't zoom in though?
No. But what all I was saying, I just wanted to address what Ian was saying though. See, I agree with the narrative of he was trying to make a touch throw, but I don't think it was a touch back shoulder throw. Yeah, I think he was trying to be perfect on a go route, right? Right here. What illustrates what kills the narrative for me, EM, of he was trying to attempt the back shoulder throw. Tony showed it to all of us. If your intention is to do something and it happens, your natural reaction is not clap your hands, hit your helmet. He knew he messed up. He knew that You cannot tell me your intentions was to do exactly what happened, and you're frustrated with yourself. Like that doesn't make sense to me, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm telling you that the disappointment is when he got an opportunity to see the play develop and really, and again, this is why I think it was a misread. Tua, I think, and again, I could be completely off base, but I think Tua misread that safety. Right. And again, it's Tyreek Hill. He needs to have a heightened level of awareness in this scenario because there's no way in the world that safety is fast enough to get over and cut that throw off if he's leading them more vertically. But I think Tua, this is where the misread comes in. He's not acknowledging where the safety, he's not aware enough, I think, where the safety currently is right at this moment. And I think Tua led him more. And again, I think the ball was underthrown. But I do think he was intentionally trying to lead him towards the sideline as opposed to leading him vertically. And I think once the play developed, let it play, Tone. Let it play.
Hold on. I got to point something out. You see, the ball is right here, right? If you're throwing a back shoulder throw, you're not throwing it like this. If at very least he's throwing it right here to this sideline. If you want to because on a back shoulder throw, you are anticipating, and Tyreek is anticipating, stopping on the dime, catch it and go. No, I'm sorry, I can't let you get off with that. That is
he's leading him there. No, what I'm saying is he's leading him more towards the sideline. That's what he's doing.
But with the intentions of him running under it and running down the sideline, not a back shoulder throw. No, yes, he is leading him to the sideline because you don't want to give this safety any opportunity to make a play on the ball. Got you. So that's why he threw it this way in the trajectory how it is, right?
Yeah,
this
but
is not
a back shoulder
trajectory. No,
right.
Back throw that would have been more flat, and he would have turned around and it's right here. You don't
maybe.
Come on, we know. Come on, Ian. Let's
maybe
100, right?
Maybe. Maybe. But what I think again, he's leading them towards the sideline. The ball was underthrown. It was a tad bit underthrown. But I mean, bro, we can sit here and speculate. We can have perspectives or whatnot, but it don't take away from the fact that if Tua leads him more vertically, that was the correct read to make. Because again, I just think Tua, it was just a misread on his play, and it was wound up being a decent play, but as we know how the game unfolded and the outcome of the game, that wasn't, you didn't need a decent play there. You needed a home run. You know what I mean?
You can't leave point. You in this kind of game right here against this opponent, right? You cannot leave points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
See, against the Carolina Panthers or the New York Giants, you can get away with a play like this in a 60-minute ball game. Against the division champions, your boogeyman, right? Let's call it for what it is. Buffalo is the boogeyman to the Miami Dolphins. You cannot have this play in this scenario, in this matchup.
Because you see him. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead, Ian. Obviously, you see him make throws like this, touch throws like this, right? We see him make it like that, but Tyreek runs under it and keeps running. Because almost all his throws is like that, unless he's throwing just a straight go and you see him step up and just launch it as far as he can. This one, he was trying to be, Lewis said it earlier, Dave said it earlier too in space. He was trying to be too perfect with the ball. Want a pretty little ball to go down there, he run up on it and it looks good. When he should have just let it fly. That's it. And that's it. But I can't, not no back throw. Can't.
And here we go right here. Vamos Gatos with the question for the panel. What is the definition of a franchise quarterback? I think EM said it right before he came up here. This is the difference between good to very good quarterbacks and elite guys. This is a good play from a good quarterback. This is not a throw from an elite quarterback. Elite guy, like, I'm sorry, bro. I can't get over this. If this is your Tyreek Hill is in the upper echelon. He's in the conversations with the Jamar Chases of the world, with the Justin Jeffersons of the world. If for people, so I could paint a picture, if this out and up move, right? Because that's what it was.
Yeah, out and up.
If
Yep.
that's Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow throwing the football, what do you think's happening here in that same scenario with one high safety and DeMar Hamlin in the middle of the field? What do you think's happening in this scenario?
he's making that play. He hit his head on the
That-
goalpost.
And that's
For
the
sure.
difference, EM. And that's the difference, right? From good to great, bro. From good to elite.
And what do we always say about Tua? The next level that Tua that he needs to get to are in those moments, right? Are in those moments.
1,000%.
That's the time when your team needs you the most. You're on a road, hostile environment. We all know the history between us and the Buffalo Bills. That is a time when you get to see it's so many, these plays, these opportunities come so few and far between over the course of a 60-minute ball game. And you have to seize as many of those moments as you possibly can to favorably influence the outcome of the game. And it's just, and again, Tua was damn near flawless in this football game. Damn near flawless. Like he would have been flawless, I think, if he, again, he leads Tyreek up the sideline more vertical, and puts more velocity on the football, and he completes it and he scores a touchdown. He would have been flawless. But this was the only knock on Tua in this game, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, we can argue about what should have been. Again, I think we can agree to disagree on this, on what Tua's intentions were here. I still think you look at where he led him, where the ball actually wound up being so far, close to the sideline. I think that was intentional by Tua, and it just was a misread. It just wasn't the correct throw.
No, I believe he meant to throw it close to the sideline, but not in the back shoulder. He wanted to lead him away from the safety. Everyone you teach this in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're throwing them sideline routes. You're going to lead him away from the safety, but leave him enough space to where he can stay in bounds. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to put too much touch on it, and he just made a bad throw. And it's okay. It doesn't matter. Even and let's even say this for that. Even if he was trying to do a back shoulder throw, which that's completely to me. No, that's a bad throw still. Bad decision, a bad throw. This is not the right throw, no matter how you put it.
It was underthrown.
Not the right. It's not the right mindset.
Because if you look at where Tyreek actually, if Tyreek would have just continued up the sideline, right, and because Tyreek he had to slow down completely to catch the football. He had to come back to the football.
Yes.
So Tua, if Tyreek would have just never had to stop, and Tua if his intentions were to make and which I think it was, I think the ball was just underthrown. That is where the critique, I think, is valid, right? Because the ball was underthrown. It was an underthrown attempt at call it back shoulder, call it what you want. I think, and again, I could be wrong, but I think it was, clearly, look, he's come to a full stop. If Tyreek if he continues up the sideline, Tua still needed to have some additional air underneath the football to complete the true back shoulder. That's not a back shoulder actually play. Tyreek had to come back he had to come back to the football. So the ball was not. So again, that is where the critique is valid. It was an underthrown football, a misread by the quarterback in this instance. And, again, I could be wrong, but I think that's where, my assessment of how the play actually unfolded and developed. That's what I think is what happened.
Listen, for that to be a back shoulder throw, I'm sorry, please stop. No, quarterback and receiver will be on the same page. Tyreek will be anticipating that back shoulder throw. That would have been a smooth transaction, not an old shucks turn around and come back to the football like a punt. I don't think it was a back shoulder intention. Pre-snap. I don't think they were in a huddle and necessarily in Tua and Tyreek, they were like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to back shoulder with you in this instance. I think because a lot of plays, there's a lot of improvisation that goes on post-snap. So I think what happened once the presentation that the defense actually had given to the offense to the quarterback, again, that is where the improv comes in. I just think Tua was I don't even know why he would even make that attempt in that instance when we've seen him make. It might be. When you can't explain what happened, is because it was a bad throw. I get it. We want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you cannot watch this. Listen. Hold on.
I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just calling how I see it.
Hold on. And we both watching the same thing. You're giving him the benefit. There's nothing with this play, showing it, playing it, watching over, that shows you that it's anywhere near a back shoulder throw. You're not in a time and base. You're not in a time and hold on. You're not in a time and base offense, right? Doing things like this on a back shoulder throw, because you have to be on the same page with a back shoulder throw, because that's a pick six the other way if you throw that wrong. So you don't improv a back shoulder throw.
You're not understanding what I'm saying, Tony. Calm down, listen, take a deep breath, and listen. Actually, listen to what I'm saying.
I heard what you said. Hold on.
No, you didn't. You're not understanding. One of the two. What I'm saying, what I said was, go ahead.
Chill. I'm trying to tell you what you're saying. I heard what you said. You're saying, because before you said, I don't even know why he would attempt to do a back shoulder throw in this situation. And that's when I said, when you can't explain it, it's because you're trying to make sense of something that don't make sense. Because it's not a back shoulder throw. It's okay to admit that. He just made a bad throw.
I agree. We're on the same page in terms of the bad throw, right? And again, how the play actually unfolded, that's not a back shoulder play, because Tyreek had to completely come to a stop and come back to the football. So the play was not properly executed, if those were the intentions by Tua. But I just look at his base. I look at where the trajectory of the football actually landed, right? The position, it was basically out of bounds. Tyreek had to, adjust to the football. That leads me to believe, right, he was trying to be intentional with a sideline throw, but it was underthrown. Tyreek had to come back to it and catch it, and it ultimately was completed. But again, it was just a underthrown football misread by Tua. That is what I think what happened.
Tone, can you go back just a little bit? Just a little bit. Right there. No, go back just a little bit more.
Right there, or a little bit more?
No, just a little bit more. Kind of like when he started going out before he started going up.
Oh, so okay, hold on, let me start. Okay, right before he started going up.
You can even start it over if you want. Right? You can even start it over if you want.
Hold on, let me
let me
start right here. Hold on, I'm gonna go back. So right before he started going out,
right?
Let me know.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. Right here. Tyreek, right here.
It's gone. You do not do a back shoulder throw with him in that position. And he's looking at him.
Look, exactly. Right here, look at the defender. The defender knows at this moment, I messed up. Tyreek is looking like, I'm hitting my head on the goalpost. There is no way in hell, and Tua is looking dead at it. There is no way in hell someone is going to try to tell me that the intention was to, again, now Tony, if you even let it play, you can lead him up the sideline, bro. But I don't know where this back shoulder throw narrative, whatever, I don't know where it's coming from. At this moment, the corner looks like he's about to fall down. He realizes that the fastest man in the NFL, bro, is about to run by him.
Facts.
There is no way in hell nobody thinks this is a back shoulder throw.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to disagree on
the Miami is still on the opposite. He's not even on the outside of the hash.
He hadn't even started.
He's not even outside of the hash mark.
He's on the inside of the hash. Like, come on. Man, we watching it. Now, Tua get paid millions of dollars to understand it. There's nothing about this play that say back throw.
Let it play. Let it play. Tone.
Look what he's.
I mean, look at this, bro.
Okay. He's on a
so y'all just think the throw was just complete shit, is what y'all think, which is where where the football landed. Okay. All right.
I think he tried to be too perfect with the throw, and it ended up being underthrown. That's what happened. That's what my opinion. What happened? He tried to be too perfect. Let him run under. Tyreek always he got the prettiest and easiest ball to catch. Yes, that's what happened here. You understand? Listen, we know back shoulder throws do not fall out of the sky like that, like this just did.
What do you mean?
They drop when you throwing a back shoulder. It's more on a line. It's not a high shoulder like that. That's not.
No. It's a touch throw. A back shoulder is a touch throw.
Yeah, but it's more on a rope. It's not up there. You don't throw back shoulders like that because that gives the defender enough time to recover. And that's not what you want to do, because when you throw it up like that, that's more of a fade, right? But when you want to get the defender playing the fade, you hit him with the back shoulder. He don't have enough time to recover. That's not even a back shoulder throw.
Well, we've seen Tua. You go back to a couple of years ago when in Buffalo actually, but the receiver was Devontae Parker, and different scenario, whatnot. We were getting blown out in that game. We clearly was losing that game, but Tua made a back shoulder pass to Devontae Parker. And when you look at the process, I mean, it's virtually identical to what happened. The only difference is Tua didn't underthrow the back shoulder to Devontae Parker. In this case, in my opinion, he underthrew it to Tyreek. So, I mean, we can argue. Nobody knows except Tua what his intentions were. What's that?
I will need to watch that to actually see if that's what he attempted. At least from my vantage point, if I look at it, and then I'll determine, okay, let me see if he intended on throwing a back shoulder or how it was the play would break down. But I'm not just going to blindly say that. I'm watching this, and I'm saying there's nothing about this that's a back shoulder throw. Nothing. Nowhere near. Okay. Now, if you decide to say that, no, I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, let me ask you this. If that was a slower receiver and it wasn't Tyreek Hill, and the receiver didn't actually had to stop and come back to the football, but the ball actually hits him in stride and he falls out of bounds, would you have a difference of opinion on the process?
He wouldn't fall out of bounds. He probably would be here, somewhere around here, and he'll run under it, like what Tua intended for him to do, and he'll catch it in stride, and maybe Elam tackles him as he make the catch, or maybe the receiver continue to run. But he's not going to fall out of bounds. That's not his intention. His intention is for him to run under it. Look at this is 3 yards of separation. Well, basically 4 now.
Right. So my point is, if the ball, like, okay, let it play, and actually let's see where the ball actually. Okay, look at where the ball. Okay, can you zoom in? You can't zoom in, can you?
No, that's the first.
Okay.
This is the bird's eye.
All right. So look at where the ball is, right on the sideline. Right, Tyreek is like. Look at where the ball falls. So if Tyreek, again, not Tyreek, a slower wide receiver, and he don't have 3 yards of separation, like he's like where the ball was completed here, would actual, because Tyreek Hill was 3 yards ahead, and he had to come to a full stop and come back to the football. My question is, if a slower receiver, let's say Devontae Parker, right? He's not 3 yards ahead of the corner, and Tua hits him in stride. The ball falls. He don't have to stop and come back to the football. If the ball hits him right where the ball falls right in his hands, right? And again, eliminate the point where he has to stop and come back to the ball. If it just normally hits him within the natural flow of the play, do you have a different opinion on what the intentions were of Tua in that throw?
No, because he hit, like I said, he hits it, he catches his stride, and he run. Now, I'm glad you brought that up, because now I'm going to break something down to y'all when we were trying to tell y'all earlier. Y'all remember those 2 passes in Dallas? And then we were telling y'all earlier, you know what? And I said that's a little bit on the quarterback.
Which 2 passes in Dallas? Which one are you talking about?
The first drive,
the one
when
where
Tyreek dropped it, but look, go look at that.
When we played him at home. Okay,
Tyreek looked like he would have kept it. His momentum would have took him out of bounds. And then when Waddle caught the ball, his momentum took him out of bounds. Do you think Tua intentionally wanted his momentum to take him out of bounds? Or that's
no.
That's what I'm saying. And this seemed like the same type of ball that he was trying to throw, but we seen him make these throws before, and the momentum carrying him out of bounds. So just because that ball is close to the sideline, we see him make those kind of throws, and we like, man, if he would have just gave him a little bit more space on the inside, he would have kept going.
And that is a fair point. That is a fair point to make. But I just think in this, I seen Tua intentionally make those type of, and again, nobody truly knows what Tua's intentions were but him. But I've seen Tua, to your point, we've seen, to the Dallas game, we've seen him make those throws over the years, and we've seen there's enough of a sample size to come to the conclusion that Tua was very intentional with a back shoulder type of intentions here as well. There's enough of a sample that we've seen him make them throws over the years. So, I mean, I guess we got to agree to disagree here. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. I could be right. You could be right. I just think, again, at the end of the day, the ball was just underthrown there, and again, I stand on what I my assessment of what I think how the play unfolded.
Absolutely, gentlemen, if I may, right? And EM, I'm glad you're up here because I want to touch on a different topic, right? Because I think I've illustrated my point, Tony, obviously you, EM as well, right? We're not going to get nowhere at this point. To agree to disagree. I think we're all kind of making good points. I do want to ask a question though, and I seen H had a comment earlier. Why does Tua is the only quarterback we expect to be perfect and stuff? H, I know you just came in here. I said it earlier, and EM said it when he was talking. Tua virtually played perfect in this game, bro. I'm not even. I'm just. We're highlighting this, bro, because it was a miss. But this is the question that I have, and Tone, you can answer because I want to hear your thoughts, and EM, definitely, I want to hear your thoughts as well. Why is it that, to H's question, like, well, Tua's the only one that needs to be perfect? No, he's not. No one, at least for me, right? I don't expect Tua to be perfect. I don't expect no man or woman to be perfect. We're humans. Humans make mistakes. I get it. The question I would have for Tone, EM, and Jess, my bad, Jess, you as well, right? Why is it, though, that Tua is the only one that is above criticism? Because obviously, whether EM has a different opinion from me and Tone, or me and Tone have a different, cool. One thing we all agree, though, it was a bad throw. And I have a question, is why do people get in such a mood, bro? These people will attack men, women, and child for Tua Tagovailoa.
I need clarification on that. I need names. I need dates.
Chill.
I need dates.
There is too many damn people to call out. We only do this show for about an hour and a half. We're already at an hour and 7. We would be here till tomorrow at 7:30-ish if I went through all the names. The facts are, why is Tua above criticism? It's no one up here today on this hour and 8-minute show has said that Tua is a bad quarterback.
Not one.
No one up here has said that Tua was trash. We all agreed Tua was virtually perfect in this game. Why do people, right, have to send out tweets saying these clowns? Why do people have to go and argue with a Hall of Fame quarterback? Why do people have to, again, in a Twitter space yesterday, again, no names, right? A guy went after a guy because we were talking about the backup quarterback situation. All because of the love he has for Tua. So when I see questions like H, well, why does Tua have to be perfect? Okay, cool. That's your opinion. But please answer me, and EM, Jess, Tone. Elaborate for me. Why is Tua above criticism?
Well,
he's not. He's not. That's an easy question for me to answer.
I've been asking that same question since 2020, and I've been known as a Tua guy, and again, I'm unapologetic about that. I think Tua is a good player, right? I wanted the Dolphins to draft him because I felt like he would be productive for us, right? Especially considering what we've had leading up to 2020. Everybody passed after Marino, but I've often asked that question myself. Why is it that Tua, it's like you cannot critique him? It's only, without the immense blowback, right? It's just nobody's, everybody's just supposed to heap praise and call him the left arm of God and put him in a category that I don't think he's earned. That's a good question. I think a lot of that comes from those Alabama fans, though, to be honest with you, which they aren't Dolphin fans. They're Alabama fans, and obviously they're Tua fans. They never were Dolphin fans. They just tolerate the Dolphins because Tua plays for the Dolphins. So I think a lot of that over the years that I've seen in terms of this type of behavior, it comes from a lot of that portion of the fan base. It's unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's you would think after this time, after all this time going on, to a 6 year now, you would think a lot of these overgrown people would conduct themselves in a much better, in a much better light. But it's never gonna stop, bro. You're gonna have his hardcore fan base, and again, I don't have a problem whether you are hardcore Tua fan or a hardcore hater. Y'all been listening to me for the longest. People that's been listening to that's heard my voice on the internet for the longest. I don't have a problem with how you fan. It's just when you enter this debate arena, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, right, on the internet, when you enter the debate arena, just have, tangible, factual evidence to support whatever position you're taking in this debate surrounding Tua. So, but it's unfortunate that a lot of that fan base, they kick up the most dust, right? Whenever there's, issues with people in this type of format, debating Tua, it's a shame how overgrown people can't conduct themselves better, bro, and just keep it about the debate, keep it about the information as opposed to making it personal.
You there, Lou? You back there? I see you left and came back.
Yeah.
You back?
Yeah. I must have fell off. And I get that. Ian.
Hold on, Lou. Hold on. Hey,
okay, yeah.
Can we ask just a question? Everybody ask me what did Jess think about this.
Hey, you know what? I feel bad. Hey, Jess, how you doing, Mama? I'm sorry. I came in here. I had to deal with these two. I had to deal with these.
EM.
You did that
because I don't know why he be over talking to me. You know what show you on, right? This is a Blitz pickup. I called you 3 times, man. Let Jess talk. Jess, what do you think about the throw?
You know what you are for that, Tone, but go ahead.
Jess, what do you think about the throw?
I kind of agree with the lines of EM. I think a lot of the fan base is trying to rationalize making him like what we need. And some of us are going to say that he's not. I'm not saying that you're wrong, or I'm not saying that you're right, whatever. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. If you know me, you know my stance on it. If you don't, I've always been the person to say that I've never really been a big fan of him. Didn't want him in the draft, and I just went along with it because the fan base that's what we're doing, right? He's QB1. We're going to go with him anyways. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that we can't criticize him. There's no reason for it. We have to be able to criticize him.
He's most definitely not above criticism. I'm sorry about that, but I mean that's what the debate is all about anyway. One person have one side of the what they think, and the other one present their side of what they think, and then you let the people decide who they think is actually correct. Well, we know who's correct on this side. It's not a question on this side. Well, but listen, go ahead. You were finna say something?
Real quick, Tom. Right, because what EM said, I think when he says it's, in his opinion, it's a lot about the Alabama fans. I completely disagree, bro. Because at the end of the day, and everybody that's in this chat and has heard me, I'm not trying to say no names tonight. I really don't want to be messy. This is not what this channel is about. The best way I can show you, though, right, is a guy that's in this community that I call my brother. He's not an Alabama fan. But you cannot say anything about Tua without him overreacting. H is in the comment. H just said, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not Alabama fan. But H will defend Tua, right? In every chance he gets. I think, and again, I'm not shooting at EM. I just think when people say it's these Alabama fans, that's misleading.
No. I said it's the majority of them.
No, but I and that's what I strongly disagree with. No, this is Dolphin fans, bro. I'll give you my opinion. I think they are so thirsty because it's true. Since Dan Marino, we've had nothing, right? And Tua is the best quarterback we've had since Dan Marino. But the fact still remains, it's not good enough, bro.
Based off my interaction and experiences over the years since we drafted Tua, I've found based off my interaction, again, I could be off base, but Sure, there were Dolphin fans that were more pro Tua, like hardcore Dolphin fans that were more pro Tua. But the irrational fan, I'm talking about to where if you disagree, you have a disagreement with Tua and they don't like it. When they become irrational and they try to make it personal, they try to get you canceled, they try to just come up with all kind of crazy shit. No. Based on my experience, that comes from those Alabama fans, the majority of them.
No, I
I mean,
disagree with that.
this is just what I've seen over the years, bro.
You talk about online? Because the
Yeah,
one that
online.
we know, okay, the one that we know personally, that go to the extent of harassing and getting people canceled, and even to the extent of getting people fired, those are Miami Dolphin fans. Now,
Damn, getting people fired. Damn, what happened there?
No, that's not what it's about. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know that this is those
God
people are
damn.
Miami Dolphin fans. That's what they are. And I'm in the city. Most of these are Miami Dolphin fans. A lot of them, they move off emotions. They don't even, a lot of times, they just want their best player to succeed. They don't want, I've been a fan at a young age that I couldn't understand or fathom the thought of my team losing to another team because I was just a Dolphin fan. It would affect me for the whole, I probably start getting over it on Thursday. But when you get older and you start to watch the game and you start to understand the game, right? Then you start to understand matchups. And yeah, it's a possibility they could lose. Oh, he has to do better. A majority of the fan base watch the game emotionally. They're not watching attentively. They watching it emotionally. They want to see our team succeed no matter what. And if he messed up, dang, he'll get it next time. I won't put that on Alabama. There are a lot of Alabama fans came over here, right? But that's like that in every fan base. There's a lot of young fans that root for Tennessee. Listen, I'm rooting for Cam Ward because he played for UM. I want to see him succeed. Me and Lou talk about this all the time. Joe Burrow, I like Joe Burrow as a quarterback. When Cincinnati playing, they not playing for Cincinnati. I want to see Joe Burrow succeed because I followed him in college, right? So that it's a lot of fan base like that. But the majority of what I've experienced and been here and knowing the ones, especially on the internet, no, those are Dolphin fans. That's not the Alabama fans.
No. Well, I can remember when, again, because see, back in those days, there was 3 platforms, right? It was Douglas Do Wrong, there was TD, there was, myself and Reason created Inside the NFL. Obviously, TD took his position in the community. He took his position, what he thought about Tua, right? People that was more aligned with his opinion of Tua kind of migrated and kind of was, lock and step, with him. And then I felt like Douglas was in the middle, and then me and Reason, we were, on the other side of the fence. We were a little more pro Tua. So the people that were more pro Tua, right, aligned themselves with us. So when we created Inside the NFL during those days, right now, again, y'all would know more recently, y'all would have a better understanding on kind of how people are moving now. Y'all are more on the internet now these days than I am. But back then, right, the pro Tua platform was, and it still is to some degree, it's Inside the NFL. But in those days, right, the place that all the people that supported Tua went to was that one. So I noticed when we created that platform. So we knew.
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, finish. Go ahead, finish.
So at that time, right? That's what I'm. Again, that's what I'm saying based off my experience. That I noticed because we would meet a lot of them Bama fans. Like I can't tell you how many people over the years would say, "Hey, we glad we found the platform. We're Bama fans now. We're big Tua fans, and now we're happy to be Miami Dolphins." I mean that we saw that a lot back in them days. So maybe now, it might be changed a little bit. But during then.
To support your comment, Ian, now Marino's GOAT, shout out to him. He's been day one. He's illustrated the story plenty of times of how he found Dolphin content, and it was around 2019, 2020, right? He just says, in the beginning, EM is right. Today, the Bama fans have moved on for the most part, in his opinion. So there goes to kind of the story you were illustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, again, 2019, 2020, that could be true.
No, 2021 as well. 21 as well.
And again, that's fine. But we're in 2025. And in 2025, I'm not gonna keep hearing the narrative that it's Bama fans that are doing this. Tony is right. Again, we're not trying to get messy. EM, you know this as well. We all know the contributors and players that we have all heard, seen, been a part of, things that have happened in this community. And at the end of the day, bro, that's not Bama fans. They have never been Bama fans. Those have been and always will be Dolphin fans, bro. And it's sad, bro. It's just sad that
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Lou. And I'm talking about, again, what I am addressing. I'm talking about the irrational fan. Now, again, during that time frame, again, y'all will be more. Because y'all are more, y'all are definitely on the internet a lot more than I am. I want to reiterate, but in more recent times. But I'm talking about based on my experience, the complete irrational moron that if Tua has on a pair of aqua colored cleats and you're you're trying to counter and say that the cleats are white, right? The disagreement, just based off the disagreement alone, it was those Bama fans that were pardon my language, but absolutely ridiculous. They would get personal. And again, I've engaged in a lot of that over the years, and I'm unapologetic about it when I feel it's warranted. But I'm just not going to just dry ass based off a disagreement. Just absolutely okay. Well, just like this scenario here with the film study. Tony has his position. Lewis, you have your position. I have my position. Jess has her position. We can all agree to disagree without it getting personal, right? We'll see. I'm sure the truth will come out eventually about, surrounding this throw and actually what transpired. But we kept it there and we keep it pushing. But it's the irrational fan that based off the disagreement alone, right? Turning up, making personal, talking about pulling up. Even I seen, again, some people that we all know. I'm not gonna put his name. I ain't gonna call his name on here right now. But I mean, they went as far. There was a lot of those fans that went to the point where, looked him up on a different platform and clipped up photos of his family and put it, was putting it on Twitter or whatnot of his kids and everything. So, but based off my experience to witness that type of behavior, to me, at least in those days, that majority came from those Bama fans, bro.
I'll give you that. I'll say this, and I don't want to. Let's end this right here. I don't want to talk about no fan base. I would say this. I'm probably out of everyone, maybe outside of just probably, right. I'm the newest to the community, especially when it comes to the internet, right. I've have anyone that know I've been going to games for over 14 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about consistently every game. I started with my boy, and then I got my own season tickets, right? I've been arguing with Dolphin fans all my life, from Tannehill, the one that was irrational about Tannehill, from Jay Fiedler, the one that hated Jay Fiedler, all the way down to Tua, right? Right? I've been arguing with these Tua fans before I got on the internet, back and forth, losing my voice. You can't say nothing wrong about him, or you got the ones that don't like him at all. They're around. Dolphin fans don't live on one or two channels. Dolphin fans live everywhere. Now, just because those are the ones that you guys tend to come across, you're focused on the people that are come across you. No, I've been arguing. So we all walk in three separate parts of life, right? And I'm talking about more realistic, physical interactions, face-to-face interactions. No, I don't see too many Bama fans down here. You understand? I'm in the cities. I'm in you have heated debates about Tua and the lack of his armstrong or his talent, or the team that he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks. You have them all the time. All I just don't want to do is I don't want to say, it's for the most part them. No, that is not. I can't remember because I'm on the internet now, right? And I interact with a lot of fans, and I interact with them in the city. They're the same. There ain't no difference. It's just either you like them too much at sometimes, or you dislike them too much. But listen, it's 9:20. I have to pick up my daughter, so we're gonna have to wrap this up.
You closing the show down? It was just getting good.
Yeah, chill. Jess, I know you didn't have too much to say. We gave you the day off. I know you chill. I did prep you for this before. I was like, yo, this might get a little wild because we talk about Tua. So I hope you enjoyed the time up. I hope you enjoyed the back and forth and as well as our chat. It's still 31 of y'all in the building. If y'all haven't hit that like button, if y'all haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscription button. Subscribe. Help the boys get to the 1,000. We're going to do our next giveaway at 1,000. Appreciate all y'all. Lou, Jess, and then y'all got something before we get out of here?
Well, for me,
I need clarification. I just need clarification.
Well, I'm about to give you a little bit more clarification. If you're one of these people out here in the community that preach that, again, it's all about facts over feelings, right? And you're here to give guidance and knowledge to the fan base, don't let your bias show. Keep it objective.
Again, I need clarification. I need clarification.
Stop,
that's what I need.
Back, man. Stop. you see, Lou, next time you ask me, I'm gonna say no. Give us a good listen, I appreciate you anyway. Let me say that. Appreciate it because I know it get kind of rough. Listen, it's the jungle over here. I'm sorry to tell you. If your feelings easy to get hurt, do not come to this platform. Sorry. You got to be able to deal with it. Y'all know how we get over here. If we don't hold punches, we talk how we talk. You got to either deal with it or not. This is the jungle. But I appreciate going back and forth.
Hey, listen, man. At the end of the day, bro, it's always to have a healthy debate, bro. Like, listen, we all friends here. We all close for the most part, off the internet or whatnot in the real world. But at the end of the day, man, like we can all, and I think, what transpired today between, again, myself, you, Tony, we can have different perspectives. We can have different opinions, right? And we can leave it there. We can leave it at the disagreement. We can debate. We can provide our information, everything to support the position that we're taking on the debate itself. But it's unfortunate when you look in the fan base and again, it's been going on since Tua came here. It's unfortunate that a lot of our fan bases, a lot of members of our fan base, they just can't leave it there, man. They just feel the urgency to make things personal and threat, and then they get, again, get out of character and just, we all seen the interactions over the years. But I think for all the people that's watching, and the people that, watch this video later on, maybe a different date or whatnot, hopefully they can learn a little from, because me and Tone, for all the people on Twitter, y'all, I'm sure y'all have heard me and Tone. We can get at it. We can get after it. Myself and Lewis, we definitely can get at it. I mean, and people from the outside, if they're just hearing us for the first time, they may think we mortal enemies. How often, how we get after each other sometimes. But at the end of the day, bro, it stays at the debate. And it should stay there, and then we keep it pushing. We learn from it, and we just keep things moving. At the end of the day, I hope some people that maybe have been moving like that or have moved like that in the past, they can observe what transpired here tonight, and kind of learn from that. Because at the end of the day, we all have our own perspectives, and we can all be friends after the debate, after the disagreement. So. But it's always a pleasure though, Tone, Lou, Jess as well. It's always a pleasure when I can come up here and engage with y'all, man. So shout out to y'all.
And Tone has to go. Listen, I know Tone has to go. I do Tua Tuesday. Shout out, great freaking show. He has the icon of my iconic cooking boat apron. That's what I was doing today. And I see a lot of people in the chat, right, talking about where's the after show and stuff. I know Tone has to go. Shout out to baby girl. Hey, Tone, y'all do y'all thing. Enjoy yourself. I don't know if Tone will be there, but I am going to oblige the Blitz Pickup fans. We will be doing an after party tonight on X. I got a little time.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
Hold on. Jess, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say something because Dade keeps trying to provoke me in the chat. He asked where the Savage went. I don't know. He just Dade. He trying to provoke me in the chat. I just want to say after work today, I did go to the dentist, so my mouth is sore. So yes, I'm not talking that much tonight.
I don't know who Dade is. I don't know who that is. Jess.
Answer Dade. But Tua does not sit on a pedestal from me, and you should know that by now. So
That revolver go bang. Y'all know not to play with her.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. I know this show
Uh-oh.
got a little serious today and stuff, but my mouth is a little sore.
I said,
Wow. Hey, yo.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Wow.
Hey.
Listen,
Okay.
you trying to run a space, so don't make this come weird
Okay.
after you trying to be like J Miami and run those kind of spaces. Is that what you're trying to do right now?
All
That's how
I'm
y'all do it.
saying-
Hey, that's how y'all doing it over here.
What I
Oh,
would
okay.
say is
All right.
y'all drop too many names over here for my liking, man. But hey, Lou, you know what to do, man. Get us up out of here, man.
Hey, thank y'all, man. Signing out over the weekend, man. You already know what it is. It's the Blitz Pickup. We'll be back Monday, 7:30-ish. You know we'll be late. And knowing how I get down, that revolver's in the holster, but when it comes out, it goes bang, bang, bang.
Yes, sir. Yo, peace out.
Yeah.